an all-time low. They've been playing college football since 1928 at UCLA. They've had some bad years, an odd 2-7-1 season, a 4-8 season. They're not experienced what they're experiencing right now. They were 5-7 last year, and most of them were horrible setbacks. Started this year getting blown out 3 straight games, not competitive, no defense whatsoever, a quarterback running for his life because he had nothing around him, and DeShaun Foster adamant, I'm the right guy for the job, didn't have the job anymore. He was removed 24 hours after a horrific loss to New Mexico. Who? New Mexico. The Lobos punched them in the mouth. New Mexico ran for 298 yards at the Rose Bowl against UCLA. This is New Mexico, which most times is found in the gutter face down in college football. I mean, just absolutely stunning. New Mexico had 450 yards in total offense. Anyhow, they fired DeShaun Foster, who finishes at 5-10, outscored 102-43 in 3 games. They've been mocked. Social media has just lost its mind. A week ago, after the horrific beatdown that they took in week 2, a week ago, the most popular social media thing was, we regret to inform you the season ticket holders are entering the transfer portal. This weekend, the social media quote of the weekend, congratulations, UCLA. You are in last place in the Big 12, the Pac-12, and the Mountain West Conference simultaneously because they lost to all those teams in their non-conference schedule. It's just terrible. The athletic director, Martin Jarmond, used phrases like, we're going to recalibrate. We saw no clear path for this team to rally. I now forever regret this hire. He also double spoke. He said, these decisions to hire DeShaun Foster are not made in a vacuum. Other people had input, but I take the blame. I mean, it's absolutely ugly. And now one of the hidden factors, they fired DeShaun Foster on Saturday. DeShaun Foster's team is eligible to go into the transfer portal right now. If you fire a coach, there's a 30-day window that opens for all those players on that team to go into the portal.
Uh-oh.
They could lose a whole pile of players in season.
Oh, that could be awful.
And on top of that, 4 of the blue chip recruits who had verbally committed for 2026 announced on social media they're out. They're not going to come to UCLA. This thing is an absolute disaster. So it really begs the question. Martin Jarmond is the athletic director running this athletic program who hired DeShaun Foster in less than 72 hours after the first interview. It was a quote, I was told by an angry man of Westwood, a backer. It was a hiring of convenience. It was the simplest hire because he was probably the cheapest hire. Hardly any buyout whatsoever.
Well, their budget problems are probably why.
What, $216 million? And by the way, all the money they pissed away over the last hire, a.k.a. Chip Kelly. $216 million athletic department deficit. Can you believe that? Under Martin Jarmond's reign.
Well, it's still ugly right now. I mean, they're going to have a hard time spending money on a good coach.
I concur. So the burning question, where do they go? I'll throw some names at you. Do you want a proven head coach who's won other places? Now, this is not a West Coast guy. This guy had great success. LSU, Florida. Talking about Dan Mullen, who was out of coaching last year. He's got Vegas right now. UNLV is 3-0. Connect the dots. New chancellor, UCLA, comes from the Deep South. Athletic department aficionado. Dan Mullen makes sense to me. Deep South guy. Jonathan Smith, fixed Oregon State, went to Michigan State, 3-0 out of the gate. He's from the Los Angeles area, former Beaver quarterback. Would Jonathan Smith leave the Big Ten to come back to UCLA? That's kind of an intriguing name. One of my favorites, because all he's ever done is fix programs. Now, he's at his new job 3 games in. They're playing really well. Last job, did a great job in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Before that, he was out here. Phenomenal job. His name Brocco Mendenhall, strike a nerve.
Yeah, that could be a good hire.
He's at Utah State, but he's only been there for 3 games. But that guy was there. He fixed New Mexico, snap of the fingers. Before that, it was at the University of Virginia. Guy's got a good track record. Does he want to come? That's another name to throw out there. Now, former hot assistant coach, he's across the street. Defensive coordinator, Southern Cal. He's done a good job in a year and a half since they stole him from Westwood. Danton Lynn. Would you dare do that, or do you need a head coach with a lot of history behind him? And then there's the wild card. Do they need something sexy? You know, I think about Coach Prime and what Neon Dion brought to Boulder and what he made Colorado football into. Do you need somebody with a name in neon lights? This is far-fetched. Jon Gruden wants to coach.
Gruden.
Would you dare do that?
Oh, man. The UC Regents would never let that happen.
Oh, well, I'm just throwing names on the bulletin board. So anyhow, that's where we are. So what's your reaction to the failure of Foster? Is there a bigger failure there led by Martin Jarmond, the athletic director? And who do you want to go get?
There's dumpster fire all over the place here. This is just awful. And, you know, I mentioned in a previous show that, you know, UCLA is a very prestigious academic institution. And you can't be having like, it's one thing to have like an off year in football, but this is a disgrace. I mean, how many people showed up at the Rose Bowl game against the Lobos? It was like, what, 10,000 or something? It was barely anybody there. And then, you know, they're faking the numbers, right, on the attendance levels. So everything about this is awful. But if you look like kind of bigger picture, football in California is pretty bad. I mean, Cal and Stanford are not doing anything. No. I mean, it's every once in a while, Cal or Stanford might be okay. USC has been stumbling and bumbling. They're a little better this year so far. But, you know, the Aztecs are down. I mean, UCLA way down. I mean, West Coast football, thank God for Oregon having a good run here. But you know, UCLA's got to figure this out. And if they're that deep in debt, who are you going to get? You're not going to get, you know, Mendenhall. If he comes over, he's going to want to be paid. You know, can Mick Cronin coach football? I mean, what are you going to do? I don't know.
You're a UCLA fan, friend, and alum. Jump in here, give us an opinion. This is a terrible hire. Never been a coordinator. Was a limited experienced assistant coach. Fired 9 assistant coaches 9 months after he hired them to be on his first staff. He's imposed all these blackout rules involving. He's pissed off the media. And the alumni are so unhappy. I mean, what a disaster. My column today is about who hired DeShaun Foster and should there have been another firing in addition to the football coach. Go to my one man's opinion column. I write some really damn good think pieces on my website.
You do. You're not just talking smack. You do.
Okay, that's the UCLA story. Fans Forum chat box is open. We go